I want to tell you how to get some amazing unlocks in Tears of the Kingdom, like a golden horse, a secret attack, and even your own house. But let's start with a way to repair your weapons. Because maybe you're like me and want to hold on to some of your favorite weapons in your arsenal. And there is a way to make that possible, but in order to do this, we need to find an Octorok, which are easiest to find close to Goron City over here on the map. I found these enemies in the quarry north of the city and to the west of it over here on the map. Once you've located one, you need to get close to it, not melee range but just a decent distance, and then drop the weapon you want fixed. The Octorok will use an attack where it sucks any nearby items and materials up, and if it eats up a weapon, it will start polishing it before he spits it back out. After it's done, it will shoot the weapon at you and you can pick it back up. You can see it's back at full durability thanks to the twinkle in the top right of the item card, and it will even have gained a new buff from the Octorok, like an increase to attack or durability. Now there is a downside to this, and that is that an Octorok will only repair one weapon. Feeding him another one right after doesn't do anything, it just spits it back out immediately, so keep in mind that if you want to repair multiple weapons, you need to find multiple of these creatures. Still though, they do help you to prolong the life of a weapon, which is incredibly useful. And speaking of useful things, one thing you'll definitely want is a good mount to explore Hyrule with. It can be hard to figure out where to get a good horse from, but I can help you out with that, as there is actually a one-of-a-kind golden horse you can find with some really good stats. In order to get it, we need to visit the Lucky Gazette first by going over here on the map and talking to the people inside the building. This will start the potential princess sighting side quest, and then we want to head over here to the Snowfield stables. You'll find your reporting partner Pen talking to someone next to the stable who reports on a missing golden horse that went north of the stables. You want to be a bit careful heading in that direction, as there is a dragon flying over the valley, but we want to head over to this spot over here to find our steed. Sneak up on it, use a boost to your stealth if needed, and if you don't have one, stay tuned as we got an armor later in the video that can help with that. Once you get on the horse's back, smash the L button as if your life depends on it. This one is not easy to tame, but I was still able to get it with only 2 upgrades to my stamina. If you can't manage with your current stamina, I'll leave a link to some stamina restoring recipes in the video description. Once you've tamed this majestic creature, ride it back to the stables. Again, be careful of the dragon on your way out, and talk to Pen and the lady. She'll give you a royal bridle and saddle, both of which look very nice on our new mount, and you get some extra rewards on top from her and Pen as well. And then register your mount at the stables to make it yours for good. The stats on this are set as Joyce and I got the exact same ones, meaning you can grab yourself a horse that has a guaranteed 4 stars in strength and speed and 3 in stamina. Plus, let's face it, having a golden horse is just awesome, and with how easy it is to get, there is really no reason not to. Now, having a golden horse will make you feel pretty rich, but if there's something to make you feel even richer, it's having your own house. Before we get to that though, if you liked the video so far, remember to leave a like and subscribe as well to not miss our next video. So to get your own house in Tears of the Kingdom, you want to head to the northeast part of the land. We need to do a relatively simple questline in Tari Town, which is over here on the map. On the west side of town, you can find 2 NPCs, Ronson and Hudson. Interact with them, and after their conversation ends, talk to Hudson again, who asks you to spend some time with his daughter Madison. You can find her upstairs in the same building, and after talking to her, you can just follow her around and help her with any trouble she runs into. For the first problem, you need to answer a quiz question, and if you want to know the correct answer, I left it in the video description. Then you need to help Madison get on the rail car by blocking the guard side. The game then hints towards some cutouts that can help with this, so in order to grab them, we want to jump over the fence behind the house where we met Ronson and Hudson to find the cave. Move all the way through and then use ascend on this little stone platform to get inside the building with the cutouts. Construct something to block the guard side, tell Madison to move, and then it's on to the final quest step. Now, depending on how many Sundelions you have in your inventory, this is going to be pretty quick, as you need 10 total to complete the final step. If you don't have enough, look around on the pieces of fallen sky wreckage to find some new ones. Hand them in to complete the quest, after which you'll watch some conversations and are rewarded 200 rupees for your trouble. But more importantly, if you go back to Ronson now, she'll offer you a piece of land for you to build your very own house. Now this will cost you 1500 rupees, which is quite a bit, and each individual room you'll want to add also cost extra. If you don't have the money, I've got some tricks to help with that I'll discuss later in the video. But as soon as you have it, you can head back to Ronson and buy the plot of land. It's right next to a shrine over here on the map, which is of course great as that means we can teleport back to it whenever we want. You'll get a short tutorial on building and you get an entrance and a bedroom for free when you first buy the land. But after that, you can buy some really useful extra rooms to expand your home with. To buy new rooms, simply talk to the construction assistant at the counter near the cliff edge and tell him you want to start building. Then talk to him again and say that you need more rooms. From here, you can buy and preview new rooms for your house and even retrieve any rooms you've previously bought but aren't currently using. And I recommend buying a weapon, bow and shield stand, which will cost you 600 rupees each, so you can store 3 shields, bows and weapons for later use without them taking up space in your inventory. Plus, it just feels pretty cool gathering a collection of awesome weapons and putting them on display in your living room. You can also add a kitchen so you can do your cooking at home too, and add a stable so you can immediately take off with your favorite horse from your front door. There's a lot you can do to personalize your house as well, like I added a little fish pond next to the entrance, but I think it's mostly worth getting for the amazing utility of weapon storage and of course the convenience of getting everything in one place. So now that you have a place to store weapons, you can make sure that you always have some powerful ones in backup. But what if I told you there's a weapon that cannot break? Or well, an attack is more accurate as this special earthquake technique can only be performed when you are not wielding a weapon in your right hand. It is pretty powerful though, as you hold the attack button until you spawn this sort of whirlwind and then release it when the whirlwind is over an enemy to make a rock spire jump up from the ground and slam them away. Most enemies are knocked back by this, meaning it's great for crowd control and it can disarm enemies as well. It does require some stamina to charge, but considering how fast you get that back, you can spam this attack in combat quite a bit. There are some downsides to it, like the rock not dealing damage to any armor an enemy might be wearing, or the fact that it leaves you kind of exposed, but I recommend adding Earthquake to your arsenal simply so you have an offensive option even if all your weapons break. It's also nice to take out weaker enemies without losing any durability on your precious weapons. To get it, we want to get 3 pieces of an armor first because we'll need that as a disguise. For all 3 pieces, the process is pretty similar. Go to a location, knock on a door, fight 2 assassins that come after you and grab the armor piece from inside the building. The first one is over here on the northeast side of the map, close to the East Akala stables, and the second one is over here in a location that might be familiar to those who also played Breath of the Wild. The only piece that's a little bit different is the third one, which is in a cave over here to the left of the Great Hyrule Forest. No door this time, just enter the cave, fight the assassins, and then have a good look at the ceiling to spot an opening to a different room. Use Ascent to make it up there and grab yourself the third piece of the Yiga armor. The armor has low defense and gives you a big boost to your stealth, but the main reason we want it is so we can infiltrate the Yiga clan who have their hideout over here on the map. If you are wearing the full armor set, you'll be able to enter. There are some merchants in the central room, but we want to head through this door to the back right from where we entered. Keep following the path until you reach this workshop area, head down the small stairs here, through the door on the other side, and then instead of taking the giant ladder, we go right into this large training area. Get up using either the ladder in this room or ascend and talk to the Yiga Blade Master on top of the central structure. He'll ask you to participate in training, which effectively means you have to kill a set number of assassins within the time limit of 1 minute. It's easier than it sounds, trust me, but having a quick weapon on hand with some decent damage will really help you out. For your first round, you only need to kill 3, so what I recommend is running straight ahead, as that is where the first assassin will spawn, and then start wailing. The more you let them move, the more annoying these enemies get, but since multiple of them are going to spawn here in this exact spot, we can catch them right away if we just keep attacking. Kill 3 within the time to earn your first reward, which is a Yiga clan die for your paraglider. But now we've unlocked the second challenge, which will reward us with the Earthquake manual if we manage to complete it, but this time around we need to kill 6 assassins before the timer runs out. Honestly, I just used the exact same tactic as I used in round 1 and that worked out fine, so I recommend you do the same. The second attempt and any following ones will also cost you 100 rupees, but again, I got some tips to quickly make money in a bit for if you don't have it on you. If you manage to complete the second challenge and get the Earthquake skill, you can even stick around for a third challenge and reward, as killing 9 assassins in a minute will grant you the Lightning Helmet, which will make you completely immune to lightning strikes. Now, like I said earlier, if you lack the money for some of these amazing unlocks, there are some easy ways of getting that. If you want to play by the game's rules, just exploring any cave and smashing mining veins is a great idea, as the gemstones that sometimes drop from these are worth a lot of rupees. But if you really need money fast, the quickest way is to duplicate the most expensive item in your inventory. The way I did it was by using my bow, attaching the most expensive item in my inventory to an arrow, and then pausing the game. Then I dropped the bow I was holding and equipped a new one, and then really quickly unpaused, paused, and dropped my second bow as well. If you do it right, you should get another copy of the item you attached to the arrow, a diamond in my case, in your inventory. But I found that this tactic can be a bit hit or miss while trying it out, so I'll link a more in-depth explanation for this tactic and other item duplication tactics in the video description, so you can see which method works best for you. But by duplicating your most expensive item and then selling it at a merchant, you can pretty much generate infinite money, which can be very useful if you plan on expanding your house, for instance. Subscribe for more Tears of the Kingdom videos and leave a like on this one if you enjoyed it. If you want, you can watch our previous one on some amazing armor sets by clicking on the screen. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.